You ready for the chaos?
Let's do it.
Yo, yo, yo. You are right where you're supposed to be. The Pot Smoking Moms podcast. Thank you so much. Welcome back. Thanks for, giving us your ears. I'm Sunny D, along with my homegirl, Captain J.
Hello.
If you enjoy our podcast, please subscribe, rate, review, share our podcast. Be friends with us. All our social media is on potsmokingmoms.com. That's our website. We love hearing from you, so please reach out to us. Even if you don't like us that much, you want to just say something mean. No, I'm kidding. Don't say something mean.
Don't invite that.
I don't know. But that's the thing. If they're listening this far, they don't have anything mean to say. Come on.
They're listening to us. I mean, they can't hate us that much,
right?
right?
I mean, I hope not. Anyways. What are you smoking? Let me just paint a picture for our people at home, our audience. Jay just got a new piece, and that shit looks like it's straight off of the Jetsons. It's very futuristic, but if we're talking about the future in the 1950s, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, I love it.
It's a little round.
I'm gonna have to post a picture now, so that everybody can see it.
It's cute though. You can hold it in your hand. It's kind of like a pipe / bowl.
It's like a bubbler.
Bong. Yeah, right. I got my little my trusty little emergency bong, mini bong here.
Your designated little mini bong for when you're here.
I'm smoking some Tiger Bomb from
the Flowery.
The Flowery.
I am as well.
So cheers.
Cheers. Speaking of the Flowery, we will have Steph Frohock on later. She's the VP of Marketing and Sales for the Flowery. She is our interview for today.
Yes, she's a mom just like us. She came from the world of spirits and into the world of flowers.
Of terpenes,
yes. So that's very interesting. We got they hooked us up with a really sweet discount. If you purchase from the Flowery, they do delivery. And PSM 20 gives you 20% off. It's stackable too. It's pretty sweet. So if you haven't had anything from them, the delivery is free, which is great. And
you'll be able to get 20% off.
You get 20% off your first order and 20% off with our code.
That's right, because it's stackable.
Yeah, so
she said it's stackable.
That's great. Thanksgiving.
How was yours?
It was good. It was all right.
Did you go to your sister's?
Yeah, passed by, said hi, hang out for a while.
How was the food?
Good. I don't know. I wasn't really concerned. I don't know. I made the most mac and cheese I've ever made in my life.
Nice.
I'll tell you that.
I was gonna make mac and cheese, but I was too tired. I just made two things.
You made your cheesy, crispy potatoes?
Yeah, the crunchy, cheesy potatoes and pumpkin bars.
Oh.
I have pumpkin bars left if you want to take some home to Robert.
Okay.
They were good in the morning with some coffee.
Yeah, man. I make some Paula Deen's mac and cheese in the crock pot.
Oh, that's right. The Paula Deen mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Must have been a hit.
I fucking made too much.
Yeah?
Yeah, I could have fed the entire block.
Well, I went to my dad's for Thanksgiving, and my in-laws, my mother-in-law and her husband, and Mima came as well. So it was like a little, what is it? Like joined Thanksgivings.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. And I got to meet my sister's boyfriend from Spain.
And?
He's cool people.
Yeah.
Really cool.
They look cute together.
I got to say, we only spent so much time with him. We need to spend more time with him, but he's a favorite so far. He's got good taste in music. He likes board games. He's smart, handsome.
Yeah. He's the whole package.
Talk to.
And Manita's got to...
I know that my sister listens to this.
Seal the deal.
Gonna be like...
And Manita got to seal the deal.
She was like, Manuel, you're with my sister. sister's sad about you.
How funny. She's a big supporter. We love Nicole.
Yes.
We also love Jenny Perdomo, Sugar Mama. She was battling cancer. We had her on our podcast when we first started. Mm-hmm. She was one of the first people in the local cannabis community that we talked to. And man, right away,
she became a number one supporter.
She was so familiar. She was just like, when we met her, it felt like we knew her forever.
Yes. When we met her, it was through lives, like watching like
her.
We
were in her lives.
And just hearing her talk, she felt like home.
Yeah, the first time I saw her, I was like, yo, you from Miami. You're from Hialeah. And she was like, yep. And then from then on,
we hit it off immediately.
And yeah. And what a small world. Like I have friends that are friends of hers or were friends with her in the past.
Yeah. Everybody
in the cannabis community. She was battling cancer. The cancer came back again. And she was, we kept getting updates from their Kickstarter.
The GoFundMe.
For the GoFundMe, my bad. And then she passed away this past week. We were really upset. We kind of started we started getting ready because we're not.
We got the
news
update.
Was not really great.
Yeah, we had gotten the update that she was in hospice. So you know when you get that news, what's coming next.
Yeah, so that kind of
we took it hard. We just heard that.
Yeah.
So it was kind of braced you for it's coming soon.
Yeah, but she did pass, and we love her so much. We just wanted to give her proper shout out.
Yes.
Much love for you,
Jen.
up in heaven.
Thank you so much. She opened the doors for us. She tried to introduce us to whoever we could. She introduced us to Dr. Mike, had said, you got to have Dr. Mike on the show. Like, as soon as we met her, she just, like, totally embraced us and was all about
she took us under her wing. And I feel like
did.
She did that for a lot of other people in the community.
Did.
And she took
that. She had a huge heart.
Yes, a huge heart, supported a lot of people, got people going. I mean, she was amazing. And, and her energy.
Yeah.
Her energy.
Unmatched.
Yeah. Every single time we had her on our game show, and she
always
was just
make you smile.
Our
first time we met her was at the Super Bowl party.
I know, that was one of them. I will never forget. That was amazing.
Yeah, we had a good time.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
So much love to her and her family. We talked about our interview. You guys wait for that one. Stephanie Frohock from the Flowery. We also have a Disney trip coming up, February 11th through the 13th. We're going to have a little weekend up in Orlando. So any of you, I don't know, Central Florida listeners, reach out to us. Let us know if you, A, want to meet us in a park, or B, if you want to hang out maybe for dinner. We can arrange something for everybody. So, yes, that's February 11th through the 13th. And
did you get any DMs? You asked for DMs.
I actually got one. I got one
about the lives.
About the lives. Yeah. I got one DM from the lives. I think her name is Diana or something. And she pops in every once in a while. She's missed a few and has been very like vocal. There's a few people who are like, man, I was ready to watch this and I just missed it.
Yeah. Oh, I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Diane?
Something like that.
Like
yeah.
DYAN or something.
Something. Yeah. Let me see.
I think Thomas.
Yeah. Because, so Wednesday, Instagram Live Wednesday nights at 9. Tentative. I just, depending on how I feel, sometimes it's just too much for me.
You also have the other podcast going on, so.
Yeah. And then just like, sometimes, man, let me tell you, my husband had to work a lot over this. See, he works in for operations in retail, so Black Friday happens, holidays, so he's working overtime. He had Thanksgiving off, but he worked Friday and Saturday. And Saturday, I was about to fucking lose my mind. I was about to fucking lose it in my head.
Yeah. Because you usually have a little bit of a break on the weekends because he's there to help.
Right.
Instead of being at work all day.
Yeah. And it's like, sometimes when the kids want to be needy or they just cannot stop pulling on your pant leg and trying to get your attention and wanting this and wanting, it's just like, oh my God, I wanted to. And then
you get burnt out.
I just really, as soon as he got home, I was so fucking done. He could tell. He was like, you want to go nap? And I just went into the room and I just took a nap for like 3 hours. I was like, dude, I don't ever want to come out of this room. I don't. Sometimes, I don't know. One of the things that I fantasize about is being alone. Is it a mom thing? Like, I want to say I'm an introvert as social as I am.
For Christmas is to leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah, You got it, girl. You got it. Back in the day, like I'm as social as I am. I'm an introvert because I do enjoy being alone.
Yeah,
and being able to just not have to worry about anything but like me in the present moment, right? Mm-hmm. You know, back in the day, I used to get that a lot. I mean, I guess everybody, but some people don't like to be alone that much.
Yeah.
I fucking crave it so bad now. And then on the other podcast, no, they don't have kids. So I was sitting there one day hanging out with them on the weekend, you know, recording and working on things. And they just made like impromptu plans. And I was just like, oh, how nice. I could just make plans, you know, and I just go, man, one of the things that I missed the most before I became a mom is that ability to do whatever the fuck I want at the moment's notice.
Yep.
Because I'm impulsive like that. And B, being alone and having just time. You know what I mean?
To do what the fuck I
mean,
want.
just time. Yeah. Just like, just zoning out and like just alone where nobody needs you.
Eventually you'll be there again.
And then I'll be sad and then it'll be depressing because then I won't want to be there. Right. It's like, what are you happy?
Pay attention to me. Spend time with me.
Right.
When you have teenage daughters that don't want anything, they don't want to hang out with
their
mom.
No, but you know what? I need to foster our relationship to when they're teenagers. They will want to hang out with me. Not all the time, obviously. I don't want to hang out with me all the time, and I'm stuck with me all the time. But you know what I mean. Anyway, in the meantime, while we wait for our children to be teenagers and hate our guts... They won't hate us. They won't hate us that much. We'll have good kids.
Oh my God. My kid can't even fathom right now actually hating us. I was like, one day you're not going to want to hang out with us. Watch. All right. So this is a pretty silly story.
This is.
Dogs are being exposed to marijuana through human poop, and pet owners should beware. A study finds this.
Hey, are you good? Is that tiger bomb?
Yeah.
Let's say, hold on. Pull it down again. Pull it down the headline.
What?
Dogs are being exposed to marijuana through human poop. Am I supposed to be more like...
And pet owners should beware.
Should I be more concerned with the dogs finding the poop or the poop being readily disposable for poop for dogs?
Where are these poops being encountered? Like,
hopefully this article will tell us where the poops are being encountered.
So it says here, a word of caution to dog owners. Apparently, some canines are getting intoxicated off marijuana by eating the feces of people who've consumed cannabis, according to a new study.
Don't tell your crackhead uncle that.
But where are they finding the poop? Dogs are natural scavengers, and so the instinct to eat poop, while gross, is just a fact of life. Yes, I've known this. If you have a dog and you have a cat, you know that they love those crispy treats from the
You take the good, you take the bad. You take them both, and then you've got the fact of life.
Of Australian researchers found that in some cases, the instinct can become dangerous, warranting the attention of puppy parents.
The study, published in the Australian Veterinary Journal, looked at 15 cases of confirmed THC toxicosis in dogs who were suspected of or observed to have ingested human feces in Melbourne from 2011 to 2020.
Okay, so this is in Melbourne.
Like,
so apparently in Australia and Melbourne, there's easily human feces available.
They have commercials now that are like, if you're a dog and got severely hurt.
Oh, you know what? Maybe it's like homeless poop.
Yes. It continues. The dogs presented symptoms of incoordination, dilated pupils, urinary incontinence, and stupor. Urine tests from 8 of the dogs showed THC metabolites in their system. However, study author Clara Lawler told Marijuana Moment that this shouldn't necessarily be taken to mean that any level of THC is toxic in dogs.
Okay. So the animals in my study had ingested an unknown quantity of feces that contained an unknown concentration of THC. Wow. So this sounds like a very legitimate, research study.
What? But that's the thing too. Yeah.
How do you?
Yeah. It's like, we didn't. Well, I did not.
We don't know how much poop it was, and we don't know how much THC was in it.
Like, we just took random poop and we just decided this was it. This was what we're doing.
And so one would assume this concentration would be at a level that clearly caused toxicity, she wrote in an email. However, this does not mean that all THC ingestions could lead to toxicity. In fact, there are some studies where animals were administered a controlled dosage of THC and not a single one of them displayed any adverse effects that might see with toxicity, she said. There are so many anecdotal reports of the huge benefits that THC administration has on animals, albeit reports are from owners' perception rather than peer-reviewed research. But this does not mean that the industry should disparage THC as a therapeutic agent.
I could just imagine them like being in a lab with a dog and going, "All right, do you feel it now?" And the dog's just sitting there
I think it's like,
"Do you feel it now?" And the dog's like, "Woof."
Maybe they're just looking at reports of, they're studying reports of veterinary reports of owners just bringing their dogs in, being like, "Yo, my dog ate poop and he doesn't look right."
Damn, but that's the thing too, is how much poop does that dog have to eat?
How high was that person? How much THC?
Right. How much THC exactly? And which we may not want to know.
Here, Riley, how much THC?
We will bring this up to me, Abby, and Riley. They're gonna be like, "What? You guys need to chill out." They're gonna be like, "Shut the fuck up. We don't want to talk about how much THC's in our poop." Giving people kind of fucking weird ideas. You low on cash?
Okay, look, here's a little bit of a explanation.
Your plug out of town
of where the poop came from.
Most of the dogs in her new study apparently ate the poop at local parks, while others ingested it at the beach, campsites, and walking trails. All dogs survived to discharge. Ingestion of human feces containing THC may lead to marijuana toxicosis in dogs, the study states. Veterinary staff and owners should be attentive in regard to using appropriate hygiene measures when managing these dogs. Yeah. How about don't shit all over the place?
But look, they said that they found it at the beach. I mean, people just poop.
Yeah. I mean, probably.
In the ocean, maybe.
Or no, homeless people or I don't know.
I guess you're right.
I guess if you need to
go.
They
said trails. People, if you got to go, you got to go. You just go off the trail.
Exactly.
And your dog walking off the leash and is out wandering around, and you don't see what they're eating behind that bush over there.
Yeah, it's concerning to think that there's so many, that there's a study that's being... Anyways, the author said that there are a number of reasons that a dog might eat poop. Oh, wow. Or put scientifically, engage in coprophagy. Oh, my fuck.
Floated one.
But they floated one possibility. God damn it. Is the writer for serious? They floated one possibility for the marijuana specific feces eating trend. It's a trend now, right? Hashtag eating feces.
Dogs have trends.
It is possible that the presence of marijuana in feces increases its attractiveness for ingestion by altering its scent, texture, and or taste.
So they're more drawn to that poop.
Because they're like, what? Yeah. What you smoking on?
So also, while this study is limited to data on about 24 dogs in one city.
Also, while this study is limited to data on about 24 dogs
in one city in Australia, the authors also said that the habit might be more common than owners report, pointing to Google search results from people reporting a dog ate feces and exhibited signs of lethargy. The idea of dogs getting high off THC containing human waste might seem like a stretch on its own, but the study also explains that canines have more cannabinoid receptors than humans, making dogs more sensitive to the effects of THC. Yeah.
Which leads us back to the question, how much feces and how much THC? Because good Lord.
Yeah, have you ever seen like
a dog that's like ate edibles
or ate like
and they
my roommate's dog ate a joint one time or like
really
or like weed out of the bag
and was
weird,
flipping and dipping?
No, not flipping, was like just lethargic. Yeah. Just like
oh, I seen dogs do like backflips and crashing into walls and shit, and you're like, whoa, is that crack or was that was that weed? Coke or was that, what was that? I don't think that was weed.
Yeah, they can't walk straight.
Yeah, they're like, they wobble around.
In conclusion, this case series suggests that ingestion of feces produced by a human marijuana user may lead to signs of marijuana toxosis. The researchers said that clinical signs of toxosis were similar to those previously reported for dogs with Connor?
I think they fucked that word
I
up.
don't know what that word is. Marijuana toxosis through gastrointestinal signs were not the most common feature despite
coprophagy. Coprophagy. Oh my God. Hold on, there's more. But wait, there's more.
There's more.
Just like we talked about birds, you came here looking for poop, dogs eating people poop. Here we are. Larringer said that there needs to be an industry-wide understanding of the fact that there are so many different strains of cannabis, and each of these strains has different cannabinoid profiles that have possible potential for beneficial therapeutic effects. These strains could be researched with a focus on what ones are suitable for animals and at what dose, rather than blanketing all strains as being toxic, she said. I hope the public can be patient and also get behind us on researching the dosing more. While there are clear concerns about dogs ingesting excess levels of THC, studies have found that more concerned are them eating the human fecal matter lying around. Studies have found promising results when it comes to the therapeutic potential of other cannabinoids like CBD for pets.
For example, dogs with epilepsy experience considerably fewer seizures that are treated with CBD oil, a study published in the journal Pet Behavior Science in 2019 found. The prior year, a separate study determined that CBD can alleviate the symptoms of osteoarthritis in dogs. The FDA, for its part, had repeatedly warned pet owners about using CBD to treat firework-related anxiety in pets around the 4th of July holiday. And you should be aware that the FDA has not evaluated these products and can't say whether they are safe or effective, how they are manufactured, or whether they contain CBD. The agency, blah, 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 blah.
Right, FDA. They're supposed to say all that stuff.
Yeah.
So vitamins are not FDA approved either.
Don't let your dog eat your poop, okay?
Yeah, I mean, especially if you... I mean, just don't let them eat your poop.
Like, I guess if you're out camping with your dog and you're a cannabis user and you got to poop in the woods... bury it good so that your dog doesn't eat.
Bury that poop real good. In the meantime. I love you, Miami! Oh, I was waiting for this to come around.
Florida's like,
Yeah. Lawmakers propose big changes to cannabis compound Delta 8. You knew it was coming. Yeah. They remember when they raided the Vegas show and they were like, no, and they got rid of anything with Delta 8. This comes out of Lee County, Florida. There are more than 100 compounds found in the cannabis plant, including CBD, which doesn't get you high. Delta-9 THC is a compound that does get you high, and to legally get it in Florida, you must be a medical marijuana patient. Then there's Delta-8 THC, which has gained a lot of popularity recently. It has a very slight psychoactive effects. However, it is not regulated, and you can find it for sale in smoke shops or gas stations.
Republican Spencer Roach and Democrat Andrew Learned are proposing some big changes to the cannabis compounds. Their 48-page House Bill 679 has support for Democrats and Republicans, and it does several things. It raises the age from 18 to 21 to buy CBD products and Delta-8 products. It also makes the process of getting medical marijuana cheaper and easier. Finally, it closes the loophole on Delta-8. While some Delta-8 products can get you high, they don't meet the definition of marijuana. Lawmakers want to regulate the number of THC products contained.
I would also say I'm a fan and customer who does use certain Delta-8 products, said Michael Jones. Jones owns a downtown Fort Myers vape shop that sells Delta-8 products. He said the crackdown will impact companies like his. From a financial standpoint, yes, it does affect me as a business owner, he says. Delta-8 and CBD products will no longer be sold to people under 21 in Florida. It shouldn't, though. It shouldn't have been anyways. You know?
I don't think that's a problem. Making it.
Yeah, making it right. I thought they were going to just get rid of it. If it's cleaning the industry and making it more professional, respectful, and making sure that Florida can continue to have the industry successful, then I'm all for it, said Cole Peacock, the owner of Seed and Bean CBD coffee shop in downtown Fort Myers.
However, not everyone in the industry sees it that way, including Eli Joyce with Sunshine Cannabis. I'd like to see access increase and not more regulation, Joyce noted. The bill, however, makes getting access to medical marijuana cheaper and easier since medical marijuana licenses would be required every 2 years instead of yearly. Oh, that'd be nice. It also calls for fewer evaluations by a doctor. Yeah, and so that does make it cheaper. Yeah. Seeing a doctor every 2 years is a lot better than what it is now every 7 months, Joyce cited. The bill also forbids
cannabis doctors and treatment centers from advertising on radio, TV, or billboards. I believe there's a concerted effort within the Florida legislature to prevent access to medical marijuana, Joyce said. I feel that with this bill as well. So far, 16 states have either banned or restricted the use of Delta-8.
So they're not taking it away.
But this is a bill that we're doing now that they're trying
There's
to
a bill
raise?
that they're trying to they just proposed.
Okay, so this is just being proposed right now. Yeah. It's not really enough.
I found it on here. Here it is. So it was just filed
on
interesting. The 23rd.
That person represents Sunshine Cannabis, the person who's saying, they're putting more restrictions.
Yeah.
They're putting more restrictions on. It's interesting that while they promote
on a homegrow.
Yeah, while they promote restrictions on the amount of plants you can have on a homegrow. So that's interesting.
So I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I mean, it's good about.
I think the age thing is fine.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with the age thing. I don't know.
But it's interesting how bills do like multiple things. So this one would be upping the limit, the age limit to buy CBD and Delta-8 from 18 to 21.
And changing the medical marijuana licensing process to every 2 years instead of...
Isn't that so weird? Like, why would those two be under the same thing?
Because that's how they try to get things passed. By latching it on with other things.
Interesting.
We need to talk to Jody more about these things.
Who?
Jody.
Yeah, we should
get her
ask this Joyce person if they feel that they should,
Well, I tracked that bill too, so we'll see what happens with that.
Tracking bills, baby.
So our next story. Wait. Did you do the I Love You Miami?
Yeah. Wow. That whole poop dog thing set you off, girl. You're like, whoa, how do we get here so fast? It's not so fast. We're going in on 30 minutes. I
remember hearing him.
Hold on. No, well, we could do it again.
Did we?
We wanted to hear Liwang again.
Tiger Bomb, guys.
Yeah, I got a Tiger Bomb. It's pretty good. Not gonna lie.
All right. So Florida lawmaker files bill to decriminalize all currently illicit drugs. This is new.
All illicit?
Yeah. Okay. So a Florida lawmaker introduced a bill last week to decriminalize all currently illicit drugs. provide avenues for relief for those with existing drug-related convictions, and promote harm reduction services. Representative Dottie Joseph filed the legislation titled the Collateral Consequences of Convictions and Decriminalization of Cannabis and All Drugs Act on Tuesday. For marijuana specifically, it would make possession of up to 1 ounce of non-criminal violation punishable by a $50 fine rather than a misdemeanor offense. It would apply the same non-criminal penalty to delivery of up to 1 ounce of marijuana. People with past convictions for those cannabis-related offenses would be eligible for automatic expungements if more than a year has elapsed since the date of the arrest.
The bill goes on to say that the legislature intends the prioritization of rehabilitative health intervention in lieu of criminalization for personal usage of controlled substances, including but is not limited to stimulants, including cocaine, methamphetamine, opioids, heroin, fentanyl, depressants, or benzodiazepines, and other addictive controlled substances. Everything?
Yeah. Kind of like what they did at Oregon. It just makes it so that you're not going to jail for it. You're going to get help for it.
Well, I mean, but there needs to be resources in place to run. I always thought that, like, when it comes to the criminal system, I feel like there needs to be more involved in, like, social services. Mm-hmm. Whereas we're sending police officers to handle situations that should be handled a little bit.
So why make it a crime for these things? They're talking about use. I don't think they're talking about sale.
Interesting. To that end, crimes associated with the personal usage and possession, here we go, of controlled substances that do not involve production, distribution, or sale shall be decriminalized in favor of civil fines and referral to drug rehabilitation. In the interest of the health and public safety of the residents of Florida, preserving individual freedoms without sacrificing community costs, allowing law enforcement to focus resources on violent and property crimes, generating revenue for education, substance abuse prevention and treatment, freeing public resources to invest in communities and other public purposes rather than continuing to overburden prisons with a population that needs medical attention, seeking corrective equity on the impact of the war on drugs, and identifying real people-centered solutions to various drug crises like the opioid epidemic. The legislature is prioritizing treatment and safety in an effort to preserve lives rather than discard them through criminalization and incarceration.
The legislation would further require the state health department to study more effective methods of addressing drug addiction in lieu of criminalizing. This study shall include, but not be limited to, supervised drug consumption facilities, which have been proven to reduce public disorder associated with drugs and led to the drop in the behaviors linked to HIV and hepatitis C transmission. The department would be mandated to submit a report on its findings to the governor and legislator leaders by December 31st, 2022. When it comes to collateral consequences of drug convictions, Joseph is proposing a prosecutorial policy change where people arrested for drug offenses are explicitly made aware of possible repercussions when it comes to housing and employment opportunities, student financial aid, and voting rights.
Additionally, the legislation would amend statute to ensure that people who face convictions in other states or at the federal level do not face more severe penalties under Florida law. It provides for a petition process through the Board of Executive Clemency for a certificate of restoration of rights, relieving collateral sanctions not sooner than 5 years after the individual's most recent conviction of a felony or misdemeanor in any jurisdiction. This is yet another example of state legislators pursuing reform to end criminalization with a focus on public health and equity. For example, a young New Hampshire lawmaker is pushing for the decriminalization of psilocybin as well as currently illicit substances. Earlier this year, a 20-year-old Kansas lawmaker introduced a bill to broadly decriminalize drug possession in the state.
A coalition for drug reform advocates in Washington state announced in September that they'll seek to qualify a decriminalization measure for the state's 2022 ballot. A task force based in Seattle, meanwhile, recently issued recommendations advising that local and municipal leaders decriminalize psychedelics and eventually consider legalizing all drugs. In neighboring Oregon, voters approved 2 separate statewide initiatives in 2020, one decriminalizing possession of all drugs and another to legalize psilocybin. In May, lawmakers in Congress filed the first ever legislation to federally decriminalize possession of illicit substances. Back in Florida, activists filed a new petition in September to put marijuana legalization on the 2022 ballot after previous versions of the reform were rejected by the Supreme Court earlier this year. Pretty sure they're talking about regulate there. Also in September, the top Democrat in the Florida Senate filed a bill that would require the state to research the medical benefits of psychedelics such as psilocybin and MDMA.
Are we going to that cannadelic thing? There's a conference. Remember how you were like, oh, I wish we can go to that one. The microdose. I know this.
Well, the microdose one. No. Yeah. I'm down to go to cannadelic.
Right, but this one would be like, isn't it the same thing as that microdose thing? Kind of similar?
I don't know.
I think it might be a little more ratchet.
Yeah. I don't think it's business.
February 5th through the 6th. Cannabis, the Cannadelic Miami.
That's the same weekend of my grandmother's 90th birthday party.
Oh, 90's man. You can't miss that.
No. We're doing a party for her that Saturday. So on Saturday, I'm busy. But
yeah, Sunday. I don't know.
Check it out. It looks like Florida is making moves to decriminalize. It's crazy.
I don't know. I don't think they're gonna like that. No, please.
Let's see if Dottie can do it.
Dottie
Joseph.
She's
the one that filed the legislation.
Get it, Dottie.
So
smoke weed every day.
Yeah. Like, why put like people that have substance abuse problems in jail?
Yeah, I know, but that's also like freeing up resources. That's why I'm saying like we put such a they need to
and more research in psychedelics.
Yeah.
Didn't like Will Smith just come out recently about his use of psychedelics for his mental health?
Really? Did he? I haven't seen. We gotta look.
A lot of people are coming out.
We should have talked about that. Then we gotta look him up and talk about him next time.
Yeah, pretty
Will
sure.
Smith. I don't know. Celebrities. You know how I am sometimes. I'm a little bit kind of like, okay, guys, shut the fuck up already. You know what I mean? Yeah, like before I came over here, Grimes popped up on TikTok, and I was like, oh my fucking Grimes. She's like, hey guys, since I'm really smart and I haven't been here for a really long time, like I just, I got real anxiety. Like, I was just like, shut the fuck up. Celebrities. They're just like us. Only super loaded with tons of money. And people love watching people be rich.
You want to be a celebrity.
People want to,
right?
I want people to like, I want to entertain people. I don't need to be a celebrity. I don't need to be a Kardashian. I don't need to be that kind of shit. That's ridiculous. And the thing that drives me nuts is people love to watch rich people be rich.
Have you seen the conspiracy stuff about, Ghislaine Maxwell's thing is...
Oh, right. It's coming up. And people are saying,
now.
She's not being shown as much and whatever her whole trial.
No, but there's a list of all these people she named. Mm-hmm. And it's Jay-Z, Beyonce are on that list.
Oh, but where is this coming from? Oh, Jesus. What is it? But where is this?
Court documents.
This is real court documents, or is this some fucking somebody wrote some documents? And
I didn't look up the court documents myself
because you know how these people be, and everybody wants to throw those names because come on,
Kanye.
They're all part of the conspiracy theory.
Kanye's on there too.
They're all part of the whole.
So they're like,
Illuminati shit.
Do you think it's coincidence that Kim K left Kanye right before all this?
No, because Kanye has been going nuts. Let me tell you this. Since we're on this conversation.
Since this guy got caught.
Kanye has been going crazy since before Epstein got caught.
It's been a while already.
It's been
his downward spiral has been especially pretty recent, within the last 3 years.
But it's been the last 7 years at least. Seriously, how long has he been with Kim? They ruin everything they touch. Everybody realizes this, right?
They're awful.
Everything those women touch, they mess it up. That's why I'm like, look, Pete Davidson, I'm sorry. I don't even know who's interested in this conversation. I hit up a group chat of mine and I was like, I sent them a recording of me ranting, going like, do you guys care as much as I do about who Pete Davidson is with? I don't know why I care. I don't know why I give a shit. I'm a big fan of Pete Davidson. I do not think he's attractive, but I understand.
I think he's cute.
I understand.
He's funny.
I understand. So really exactly. Cute. I understand that he's he seems
weird.
Cool.
Like his features are all a little weird, but together they work.
No. No, who are you telling me? And then I was, Ringo. You were looking at, I was like, Ringo from the Beatles is super hot. And you're like, what? And I'm like, yeah.
He's better looking than Ringo. I'm sorry.
Get the fuck out of here, please. Pete Davidson wishes
they both bug-eyed.
He had facial hair.
They both got big eyes.
Right. But anyways, okay, but fine. I get what the appeal is for him, right? But I don't think that the ladies I don't think they're him. I don't think that the girls that he's been dating, I think maybe he's dating these girls because he was not popular back when he was in high school and he always wanted to date the popular girls. And now this is like his one chance to like date the popular girls.
Yeah.
But I don't see his style. I don't see his lifestyle or his attitude or his in these prissy little, like, you know what I mean? Made up girls like Ariana Grande. When he proposed to her, I was like, for real? Like, I get it, but like, dude, is it long term? Really? You think you see yourself long term with this little? Come on, dude. And now he's with Kim K. I think it's PR stunt. I think they're PR stunt. I think my friend made a good point that they have like, I don't know, they both have movies or something coming up. And because when you think about it, celebrities can keep it on the DL if they really want to. They have tons of money. Why would they need to go out in public to have dinner and hang out together? Are you kidding me? I love staying home. If I was rich and I had a fat pad and I have millions of bucks, I'd stay home all the time. I have people come over all the time. I'd never leave my house.
I think too many people are reading into it. Maybe they just hung out.
A couple of times. This isn't like, this is one time they hung out. So and what are the odds? Are you kidding me? Pete Davidson and Kim, they're just hanging out. Come on.
Maybe.
Whatever.
All right, whatever. Who gives a fuck?
I do. We must protect Pete Davidson. Kim Kardashian cannot ruin that guy. Please don't ruin that guy.
He's not gonna be with her.
If they link up, we could say goodbye to him. And you know what? It's ironic because he had a whole weekend update where he's like, bring Kanye from 2008 back. And he was ripping on Kanye because Kanye was ranting on the stage at the end of the show. You know, when they're supposed to stay at the end, say goodnight.
Yeah.
And Kim and Kanye starts going off and Pete Davidson walks off the stage because he's like, this guy is not saying things that I agree with. So I'm going to leave. Yeah, they cannot be together. She will ruin him. Look at Travis Scott.
It was like after she appeared on SNL. So like maybe they like struck up a friendship while she was there, you know, like hung out. And they're like, hey, let's hang out.
Mm-hmm. Hey, let's hang out. Thank you so much for hanging with us so far.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Hanging out with us so far. This next interview, if you don't know about the Flowery, they have an interesting story. They're a medical dispensary here in South Florida, but they're not like your big wigs. They're not like big True Leave.
Family owned.
They're family owned.
Yeah.
They got a license, and instead of selling it, they said, we're going to fucking do this shit. And
they're doing it.
And they're doing it. And let me tell you, they got some good flour.
That's what we just smoked.
Yeah,
tonight.
we got some Tiger Balm. So we really hope you enjoy our interview with Steph Frohock from the Flowery. Here it is.
So it's interesting. A couple people have asked me, like, so at what point are you going to tell her what you do for a living? And now after that, like, story of her in her children's book seeing an actual cannabis leaf, and she recognizes it and she knows what it is. She doesn't fully know what it is, but she grasps the concept that it's mommy's work. And so to me, I'm like, well, that's the cat's out of the bag. So at 5, she already knows. And if I am this proud of the product, and I truly believe it is a medicine, I think it's also fun as well, obviously, but I really have seen benefits from a medical standpoint. My husband's actually a physician as well, an anesthesiologist who he he's on the forefront of opiate reduction, and even he's learned a lot the last year, and as a physician he's even learned a lot. But for me, seeing the real benefits and impact of it, I don't think we should be ashamed of it. And I feel like the time she is 15 or 16, at that point there's going to be so much education, and it's the same thing about the kids that are in private schools, that you shelter them for too long. When they go off to college, then they binge drink and they get out of control. For me, I'd rather educate her at a young age and explain to her there's different usages for it. And there's definitely a medical use for it instead of using prescription drugs. And yes, your daddy's a doctor as well, and he used prescription drugs for certain things, but there's also natural ways to heal as well. So I think education is really the biggest thing. And I've even learned so much the last year. So to me, it's like, well, as an adult, that I've never, ever been anti it, but I just have been naive or uneducated. So I think being educated on the product is definitely the number one thing. So I'm not going to shy away from it or talk about it. I think I do need to be careful of like peers. So what I tell her to make sure that when she speaks to other people about it, because it's not something that we shy away from, but other people that are, again, not educated on it might be judgy or whatever. But honestly, I don't want to hang out with those people anyways. So if you're going to judge me, use my language, fuck off, and like whatever, then you're not part of my circle. So I think education is the biggest thing I've learned the past year that I want to instill in her too.
I think we're all too. I mean, it's all a growing process, literally. But it is like we're all still learning, and I think there's gonna be so much more that we're gonna learn. You know, hopefully.
Well, we really will, because I mean, hearing stuff from my husband, he's like, man, just because they haven't been able to research, they haven't been able to do these things. So I'm sure there's so much more once we get the really amazing scientists that are allowed to, that have the funding to be able to do some of these testings. I mean, Israel's coming out with a lot of stuff. They've been doing research forever, but I really think America does the best with anything with medicine. So once we kind of open up those gates and allow more funding and for it to be federally legal, then these like big companies can actually pay for things to get done.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you also a pot smoking mom? Do you partake?
I do. I will say I'm more of a gummy person, or like a vape pen. Yeah, or a vape pen. And I think it's more because it's the on the go easy. And for the life of me, like I cannot roll a joint, to be quite honest.
Girl, that's why you gotta smoke out of the bongs like we do. Ever since we got into the podcast, we started using bongs again, and we're like, "Whoa, this is great." Well, Jay has a J right now, but bongs.
Before the podcast, I hadn't used bongs since like my 20s, and then all of a sudden we started this podcast, and we're doing bong rips again. It's like because we were hiding more before, you know, didn't having a bong is something else you have to put away and have a spot for and all that. And then when we decided to do this podcast and be more open and really trying to break the stigma, we're like seeing other moms on Instagram taking bong rips. We're like, yeah, why not? Yes,
that is what I want. That's what I should do. It's awesome.
So can you tell us a little bit about the Flowery? You said you're not like other MMTCs.
So what two things really set us apart, or the two biggest things that set us apart. The first and foremost is how flower focused we are. One, going back to the medical aspect of it, and two, just that was a passion of all of ours of if we're going to grow, us being a small private company, we didn't have the means to just do everything at one time. So we had to be smart about, all right, well, what are we going to focus on in the beginning? Okay, well, where's the medicine? Where's the benefits? Where's the best part of the plant? Well, the flower. So that's what we've been specializing in, is getting our flower perfecting our flower, because then everything else is going to be amazing. If our flower, our core ingredient, is amazing, and then everything else is going to be amazing. So that's all we've been focusing on right now is flower. And we go ahead.
What would you say is, well, since you guys are so focused on having the best flower, what do you think is the key to having like the best flower? What do you guys think makes it the best flower? Yeah.
The easiest answer to that is being indoor. So right now we have a very small facility, but we are almost done, maybe a month from now. That's why I was holding off on the tour, because I really want you to see the big bad boy. So right now we're in a small facility, but it's all indoor. And the next one is going to be the largest indoor grow facility in the state of Florida, because we truly believe that indoor is the best thing, because it's Florida. It costs us a lot more money, but again, we are so passionate about growing the best flower possible. Like, we want to be the brand, hands down, that everyone says, if you want amazing flower, go to the Flowery. That's why we named it the Flowery. That, and the fun fact about why we named the Flowery on a side note, is flower focused, and also we're the Florida brand. And La Flowery, which Ponce de Leon named Florida La Flowery. So it's kind of like a pun on Ponce de Leon naming Florida, since we are the Florida brand. But so indoor facility is the most important. Of course, we do everything organic, natural. Even instead of doing pesticides, we have like cinnamon and some other fun, like all natural things, because we believe in doing the best possible for the flower. And then the different lightings. The fun thing this last year, using this small facility, it will actually continue to be our R&D, research and development facility, and we've used that as a research right now. So we have different rooms, and every room we did a different light, so we could test what strains liked what light, or as a whole, did all of the strains hate this one light and like another light? We did different irrigations to test those. So we really did a bunch of testing, because my family really has a significant background in the the growing sector. The other one is we're one of the only ones that got the license, that still is a family-owned company that manages it and everything, that did not sell it. So in order, just to give a little quick backstory of how the whole licenses happened, basically, you had to be in the nursery business for 30 years. We were in the nursery business, or we still are, for over 40 years. My family's actually been growing some sort of agriculture. We started in like avocados and tomatoes, or avocados and mangoes, sorry. Last year marked 100 years. So we know a little bit about growing in Florida. And the whole thing about the indoor aspect of it is us knowing the Florida climate and what plants can and can't handle what things. A lot of these cocky California guys that do amazing work in California or Colorado, they come here and it's like, oh shit, this is not what I was expecting. And even the inside has a little bit of an effect of how bad the humidity is. But my uncle has this patent, really cool air thing. I don't know how to really explain it, but basically it also helps with humidity to suck out and make sure even when you open up a door, you get cleaned off with air, basically, and then you walk in. So we're really, again, we're just so passionate about growing high quality flower and all aspects of it.
And it shows in your product. Your flower is great. It really is.
Yeah, I actually have another delivery coming tomorrow. The waffle cone. The waffle cone, I think, was really good.
Yay!
I really liked it.
And you got to admit, our graphics are amazing. Like, we have such an amazing, like, our digital aspect. Like, I'm just so proud of so many of our team members. I actually call them our Flowery fam. I call our patients and you guys are Flowery fam. Like, to me, I mean, we're a family owned company, but family definitely to me goes a lot further. Blood goes more than family goes beyond blood, I like to say, because I don't know how many aunts and uncles I have that aren't really my aunt and uncles, but that's just how my family is. And that's how we've set up the Flowery. And we truly believe our team members are our family, and so are our patients are an extension of us as well.
Very cool. And you have a background. You have a background in marketing, but yeah, you came from the wine and alcohol industry.
Yes. So I went from wine to weed.
Hey man, there's a lot of moms being converted from wine to weed, and it's not a bad thing.
You know what? To be honest, you don't get hangovers. It is amazing. But I do have my
no calories. Well, yeah.
I do have my wine on my
yeah, wine is nice. I feel like if anything, wine still has antioxidants benefits.
But you know what's so amazing about Emma Som and the one of our strains that I'm still just blown away with. My brother promises me he's going to grow some more, but it was straw nana, and it smells like strawberries and bananas, and the terpenes. I'm like, this. If you don't believe in terpenes, this is an example of how terpenes, like, at least the smell of it, but even the effects of it. And that's another thing that I can't help a lot of the times compare the wine with cannabis as well, with all of the terpenes and whatnot.
You learned growing, cannabis. You guys went from growing
tomatoes or
mangoes, avocados, all these things, and all of a sudden you got into the cannabis.
Yeah,
industry.
why
make
weed?
That shift? Because
so,
the shit.
So I have 3 brothers, and the youngest one, Matt, he did 2 tours in Iraq and suffered from PTSD, and he was actually the one that wanted to do it. He's like, this is an amazing thing, we should do it. Like, look at these stipulations, the odds of anyone else being able to even meet those. Like, this is such an amazing opportunity on so many levels. And this was back when Charlotte's Web was, so it was like nothing at that point. And so he and our other partner, that's basically family to us, like I kind of say all the time, but they've been in business with us for 20 years, Jack. He and my brother applied for it back, I think it's probably been 8 years now. And we didn't get it the first time. And then Matthew, for January, will be 5 years actually. He passed away. And so when that happened, all of us just kind of got together, and we're kind of a tough family. We're like, fuck it, we're gonna make this happen no matter what for Matt. And so we got another partner, a financial partner, and we sued the state of Florida, and we won with 7 other nurseries. And then you really start to have this passion for it, and you hear about all of these amazing stories, and it's like, why are we just going to sell the license? I mean, none of us are hurting. We all have successful businesses. To us, it truly was a passion of like, wow, this really is an amazing thing on so many levels, like from the health benefits, from the fun aspect of it, of like building a new business.
Yeah, how exciting.
It's been so fun, and like
a whole new industry in our state.
I never wanted to work for my family's company. That's why I was like, peace out. I'm going and I worked for Bacardi my first 4 years. I was just like, all right, I never want to grow plants. Like, ugh, that's so boring. Then I get into wine, and I go and I'm like growing wine and making wine. And I'm like, wait a minute, I guess it really is in my blood. Like, as much as I don't think I like this stuff, it still somehow just keeps pulling me back. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so it's been amazing, and to work with my family, and everyone is just so sweet to me. Like, I have the best brothers ever. Like, everyone says, oh, I can't believe you have 3 brothers. That must have like been terrible. Like, nope, I loved it. Like, they were overprotective and sweet, and nobody messed with me. Like,
that's some good backup, man.
Oh, Donovan, the oldest one, like, he was a thug, like, straight up. There's some stories that he probably would not want me to share, that now he's the professional, like, one running the ship. But
That lucky for us, the internet wasn't as heavily populated as it is now. We got away with a lot of things back in the day.
He is very lucky, actually. He was on some papers over in like somewhere that somebody saw him like, man, can you imagine if it was today's? No way. No. Yeah. I'm so grateful.
Thank
to be
God.
honest.
Right? Me too.
But then we're going to start opening up our first dispensary. Right now, it's end of January, and it will, of course, be Miami. That's going to be our flagship. It would be wrong if it wasn't in our hometown. And then we're going to open up 2 more within a couple months after that. By the end of the year, I think the projection is like 5, between 5 to 10, depending on how the first 3 go. But the first 3 will be the first half of the year.
Oh, how exciting is that?
I'm nervous but super excited because we've laid down such a foundation of like working out all of the painful things that I'm not as scared. I'm more excited than I am scared. But
yeah, I feel like you guys have gone over most of the most painful things, I'm sure. I mean, it's
you guys got delivery down. Like,
really
easy. It is really easy to order.
It's the ordering process that the website sucks, but it was like templates that it's just like easy off the shelf. I didn't know what I was doing. Like, I just was researching and I was like, "Oh, what's this? I Heart Jane." Like,
but you guys have
I Heart Jane. Like,
but I think that's like, I think that's standard. I think for the most part, I've seen a lot of dispensaries that have that same kind of.
No, they all do. That's how I found it out. I videoed every single ordering process, and I finally saw a little icon. I was like, "What's this? I Heart Jane." So I googled I Heart Jane, and I was like, "All right, this is our platform that we're going to use. It's inexpensive." And look, I'm so glad we did it the way we did, because even if we could have afforded building a custom site right out the gate, it would have sucked because I wouldn't have known what we needed or how we needed it or anything like that.
Right. You got to start somewhere. Yeah.
So now we like know all of the necessities, and we're going to, like I said, y'all are going to be blown away with the new ease of it. Everything's automatic. It's cool.
That's awesome. That's super exciting. Even like the storefronts, that's super exciting too.
Yes. The first one is going to be like, it's been a long time in the making, and we have some amazing designers, and it's going to be really cool.
Some of these places
Miami,
are
yes.
in Miami.
No, it is not going to look like anything like it. No,
some of these places, girl, they look so sterile. They're like, I mean, I'm like, look, I mean, I get like it's medicine and you have to be serious about it, and I'm sure there's all kinds of things that you have, requirements you have to meet, but oh my God, some of these places look like scary. Yeah, they do look creepy.
I'm like, who am I gonna get what from?
Do people have to? Do they have to cover all the windows? Like, you cannot see in? Is that like a requirement for? Do you know that? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But ours is gonna actually have like cool looking in the inside. Like, we're gonna have designs on the inside and designs on the outside.
Yeah, because you could still you could still have fun with it.
No, we have half of our team works out of Wynwood, and so we have badass artists. Like, it's not going to be nothing. And I'm like, we need to get this done. They're like, no, this is our flagship. It needs to be. I was like, okay, fine. Can you just hurry up and be cool?
Yeah, I know.
Fabulous.
Creative takes time.
I know, and we're so impatient.
I'm definitely going to that opening for sure.
Y'all will definitely be invited for sure. I think we're gonna do a bunch of parties, to be honest. We're gonna like do like different crowds almost, and then maybe one big one, and see how eclectic our groups can be.
Yeah, for sure. Well, if you need like cool moms to host anything,
yeah,
we could do it, girl. We're here. Well, I was interested, since you guys are kind of like, I would say you guys are kind of like the underdog, right? Like, you guys aren't like these big, flashy.
To say the least, yeah.
Which I appreciate. I mean, everybody loves a good underdog story. Like, come on.
Yes.
I think we're gonna be like the fun underdog that like no one sees. I actually think the reason we've gotten some like the bigger guys kind of doing some things, and I'm like, come on, we're like itty bitty, leave us alone. But I think in the future we're gonna be the underdog that really becomes the big dog.
Right. And that's like,
Yes.
but that's like, you know, what is it? What's a good story like that? She's all that, where she's like the nerd and everybody's like, and then they turn her into a cool girl, and she ends up like, I mean, all they did was take her glasses off.
The Karate Kid, bro. The Karate Kid.
The Karate Kid. Oh, even though there's a different theory of that story.
Now that
Right.
Cobra Kai.
Right. But yeah. But right. But I would be interested in knowing what you guys think of like the homegirl, because I would suspect as the underdog that you'd be like, you know, grow as many plants as you fucking want. Because you guys have been through the shit, and you're like, grow as many plants as you want. Like, let's see.
Then you're gonna be like, well, me going back to my alcohol days, it's like homebrew. Oh, if I go over to a friend's house and they're like, oh, you want to try my homebrew? I'm like, I mean, Jeff, do I have to? Like,
people,
am I gonna be impolite and be like, sure, I'll have a sip of that. Like, no, stop trying to grow your homebrew. Like, let the fucking professionals know what they're doing.
I mean, you know, I would definitely also be interested in like finding those mom and pop home grows that would be like that. Ooh,
like,
crafts.
Show me what you're doing. Come over and work for us. Like, help us out. Like, keep your home grow and come over.
Yeah, true. Oh, we seen what you could do.
Do both.
Come do that for us. And that was Steph Frohock from the Flowery. You can visit their website, www.theflowery.com.
.co.
.co?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was missing an M.
No.
And also, please, if you have not gotten...
.co.
All right, www.theflowery.co.
bro. No M, bro. Drop the M.
.co. They didn't have time for the M. They just like .co. .co. Not .com. .co. If you haven't gotten delivery from them, dude, you get 20% off your first order. And if you use the code PSM20, you get 20% off. Stackable. I mean, unless you've gotten it before.
Yeah, it's
then
still
just
nice.
fucking 20%. Yeah. So make a nice order. Get some Tiger Balm. Waffle cone is a favorite of mine.
Oh,
too.
the waffle cone is good. I tried it.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. It tastes great.
Yeah, really, really nice. Thank you guys so much for listening to us. Thank you for the sponsors. You know, if you're around Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time, of course, on Instagram, we usually do lives.
We may or may not
be there. But you know what? If we are, you should be too. We'll let you know ahead of time. And that way we can talk about the episode. Thank you guys, the patrons. We got a new patron. Well,
okay,
she moved over.
The thing is, I wasn't sure. It has to be the same Nathalie, right?
I'm pretty sure
it's
it
Nathalie
is.
from Anchor, right? Came over to Patreon.
HR,
she must have heard us say it in the episode that she should come over.
Maybe, yeah.
I think so, but like it says a different last name in Patreon, so I wasn't sure.
It's always difficult to track some of the people some of our audience, because people go by different names and different platforms, and sometimes it's kind of weird. But
speaking of Angelina, if you're on IG, we need your handle.
Oh yeah, Angelina, reach out to us on Instagram if you're on Instagram. If not, email us. But you know, patrons get early access to episodes. They get additional content, full uncut interviews, Zoom smoke sessions, vacations. Apparently now we're taking a vacation. But hey, you know, if you like our show, come join our patrons page. Like Yanni and Destiny and Lauren and Jesse. Christy's a patron also. April, she's been with us forever. I don't think she really listens to the show though. Shelby.
She just supports
she supports the Anchor. Shelby, Denise, Liza, Natalie, Meredith, Terry, and Angelina. Thank you guys for being patrons. We love you. We love all the interactions we have with you. If you like our show, subscribe, rate, review, share our content. PotsmokingMoms.com. Just don't go to our TikTok. It's not there anymore.
Aww.